Hello and welcome to VOA's Red Carpet. I am Sunday Shumari. This week on the Red Carpet, we chat with guitarist John Collins, who left England, his home country, to move permanently in Ghana. The South Proteas, South Africa's men's national cricket team, are relaxing their quota system, much to the delight of their supporters. Those stories, plus it is fair to say that popular Mexican actor Eugenio Derbez has made it in Hollywood. MMA fighting is expanding its reach in Africa. The Professional Fighters League officially launched its Mixed Martial Arts African competition in Lagos in July, offering fighters the chance to win as much as $1 million. Ethiopian cyclist Binyam Girmay made history as the first black African rider to win Tour de France Stage 12, making it his third stage victory in this year's race. John Collins visited Ghana as a child with his father, but life brought him back years later, and the musician never left. VOA's Isaac Kaledzi met him in Accra, and Anthony Labruto narrates the story.
John Collins was already a musician in his British homeland when he moved and settled permanently in Ghana. But it wasn't his first trip to the African nation.
I came to Ghana as a child, not with any purpose, but then I came back to Ghana in 1969 to be with my dad, because my mum and dad had divorced, so I wanted to be with my father.
Today, he is a well-known figure in Ghana and West Africa, mainly for his work on popular and neo-traditional music, including highlife and Afrobeat.
I joined so many different bands, I formed so many bands. I went to Nigeria, I played with people like Victor Owaifu, and worked a lot with Fela Kuti, Anikulapo Kuti in Nigeria, worked with bands in Ghana, went on TV, I did so many things, but it was all a labor of love.
John Collins has also worked as a music journalist, writer, and historian. His academic publications on African popular and neo-traditional music are used in universities all over the world. But, he says, living in Ghana was not all that smooth for him.
Well, it's very tough, of course. I mean, I never in Britain experienced things like coups and curfews, shortages, and so on. Dumso, all these things.
Here, at the University of Ghana's music department, Collins helped structure a course in popular and traditional music and taught for many years. He inspired his former student, Erasuno Do, to become a music lecturer in the department.
And what fascinated me about him was, like you're saying, that here is a foreigner, a white man, teaching us our music, whilst our people were teaching his kind of music. So I found that to be quite interesting, intriguing, and that is what drew me more closer to him.
Collins married a Ghanaian and has a son and a grandchild. He feels that it is the Ghanaian people who have made his stay in Africa memorable.
All I've been talking about is not about the climate, not about the food, the sunshine. Everything that's positive is ultimately people. It's people who create the world.
Collins has spent his career learning popular and traditional Ghanaian music and helped inspire young Ghanaian musicians like these ones who gather here at the University of Ghana every month to keep both genres alive. For Isaac Kaledzi in Accra, Ghana, this is Anthony Labruto, VOA News.
Popular Mexican actor Eugenio Derbez has made it in Hollywood. His bilingual comedy, Acapulco, on Apple TV is critically acclaimed and has put his work in front of new audiences. The show's star and producer spoke with Veronica Villafañe about his mission to create an authentic, family-friendly series that positively represents his home country.
It all started with a job at Las Colinas.
Bilingual comedy Acapulco, now in its third season, has become a global hit for Apple TV and its star.
Dad?
Mexican actor Eugenio Derbez, who is also the show's co-executive producer.
It was 1985.
Set against the backdrop of 1980's Acapulco, Mexico, it weaves between the past and present as Derbez, who plays multimillionaire Máximo Gallardo,
I can be tough when I...
narrates embellished memories of his rags to riches life. Along the way, he reflects on his younger self, played by Enrique Arrison, through stories full of humor, love, and life's lessons.
In Acapulco, it's like something fresh. You can watch Acapulco with your kids, with your abuelitas, with anyone, and you're going to enjoy it.
What's up, Memo?
The series is about the importance of family, friendship, doing the right thing, and staying true to oneself. Its feel-good, nostalgic storyline resonates across cultures, says Acapulco co-creator and executive producer Austin Winsberg.
Young Maximo is someone who wants a better life for himself and his family. The stories that we're telling are workplace stories, romance stories, underdog stories. These are things that I think anybody can relate to globally.
Derbez says he was troubled by negative portrayals of Mexico in film and television and wanted to do something to change that narrative.
In Acapulco, you can see that Mexico is more than just violence and narcos.
Producers say having a predominantly Hispanic team of creatives, writers, cast, and on-location crew was crucial in building an authentic story that challenges negative stereotypes and provides more accurate representation.
Resources to keep evolving.
However, Derbez acknowledges there's a lot more work to be done. In the meantime, he revels in knowing that Acapulco continues to win hearts around the world through the power of great storytelling.
Buckle your seatbelt.
Veronica Villafañe for VOA News, Los Angeles.
South Africa reached their first ever Cricket World Cup final in June, marking a historic moment in the country's cricketing history since joining the international cricket community. The Proteas, South Africa's men's national cricket team, decided to temporarily relax their quota system for the tournament held across the United States and West Indies, much to the delight of their supporters. In Johannesburg, South Africa, Zahir Kasim takes a look at how cricket is shifting from focus on race to one centered on merit.
On this cricket field, the pitch requires a swift roll. For Sean Noble, a seasoned groundsman at Johannesburg's Rivoli Cricket Club, this moment is significant. Noble, a cricket enthusiast for almost 2 decades, had hoped that the Proteas, South Africa's men's national cricket team, would win their first international trophy at the 2024-2020 World Cup tournament hosted in the West Indies and the United States.
This final means to me that it's very important to our country and that this is the first time that we're not going to choke in the final.
South Africa had a promising start, but faltered against India in the final stages, causing the cricket team to miss out on the trophy. This tournament also marked a relaxation from the quota system that had been enforced over the past decade, which required at least half the squad to compromise players of colour to ensure inclusive representation post-apartheid. Ashwin Desai, the author of a book on cricket looking at post-apartheid South Africa, explains how the excellence of players of colour has led to the call to drop the quota system.
Constantly the quota or targets were being questioned and re-engineered. But I think there's a solid body of evidence that quotas could be anti-black. Why are they anti-black? Because originally when they came into being, it was to deal with white gatekeeping. But most of the cricket unions are run by black people. The selection committee is overwhelmingly black. And so the idea that there could be racial gatekeeping starts to lose its resonance.
Noble shares Desai's sentiments.
You select a person on merit, not on name, color, or creed.
But Noble is not the only person who feels this way. Emotions were mixed among fans at the Johannesburg fan park.
There were a lot of people, there was a lot of controversy around it at the beginning because there were more white players in the team or more players, like not a lot of players of color, sorry. But I feel like we should just get our best people, especially for a World Cup. We should have our best people in the lineup.
Despite the national team fielding only 3 players of color, one short of the mandated quota, some fans rallied behind the Proteas, advocating for a merit-based system.
So we would like to see better representation. However, at the same time, we want to see the South African national team best represented in terms of abilities and in terms of who can get the job done.
I think it's not fair at all, because you are forced to bring people who are not competent. You are forced to take some people who are more competitive than others and drop them just because of this issue of race and all those things.
Many cricket experts and fans expect a return to the traditional quota system, which has been in place since 1999. However, the 2024-2020 World Cup highlighted a desire among fans for on-field results, no matter who achieves them. Ziri Kassim, VOA Africa, Johannesburg, South Africa.
Marjorie Goldberg is a wood sculptor and gallery owner in Washington, D.C., who has been heavily involved in the city's arts community for decades. She also runs a nonprofit that teaches D.C. residents woodworking skills. VOA's Jeff Swikod brings us the story.
My first sculpture class was in Rochester, New York, when I was 10 years old. It was at that moment that I knew who I was and what I was going to do. Art is it's kind of an expression of your soul, of your experiences. And I had been taking years of dance class before then, from the age of 4. So I really love dance and I really love sculpture. You know, I mean, what is sculpture but dance, you know, in a moment in time. When I came to Washington and GW, and it was really the revolution years, 68 to 72. I have always been a truth to power person. I have never been afraid to speak my mind loudly, where I got my nickname in college, which is Megaphone Margie. You know, I did art, I did dance. I was very interested in Eastern religion. I figured I'm going to spend my life in art, so I want a well-rounded degree. And your art is only as good as your life experiences. One of my clients was the National Association of Home Builders, and they put out a statistic that said within 5 years, 50% of all carpenters are going to be retiring. It is the most endangered trade in this country and in Europe. We wrote a grant to build a mobile wood shop.
If this is spinning this way.
And to train a new generation of carpenters.
Whoa, that's so good.
What we often do is teach young kids how to turn things on a lathe, which they just adore doing. But I just felt that most schools don't have wood shops anymore, and they need a trade. I mean, I know the percentage of kids that went to college from my high school, 98%. There isn't one school in the city that would even come close to that. Tonight there's classes here in our stationary wood shop. It was just something that I really had wanted to do and felt there was a need for the city. We really built something. Now we're helping a lot of students.
Thanks for watching VOA's Red Carpet. I'm your host, Sunday Shomari. For more on your entertainment news, check us out on voaafrica.com, on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, goodbye, everyone.